Today is Monday 22nd, and I'm currently pretty sick, but I really want to get this video done this week. I really want to try to finish as much as I can of my April TBR before the end of the month.
Hachette Audio presents Ava Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch, written by Julie Abe, read by Caitlin Kelly.
I just finished part 1 of Eva Evergreen and thought I would update you guys. Eva is the daughter of a very well-known witch. In Eva's world, magic is getting weaker, and new witches and wizards are becoming less and less frequent. I wasn't able to vlog very much yesterday because I got extremely tired and I could barely stay awake. I was able to get 54% through Eva Evergreen, the Semi-Magical Witch, yesterday. I'm not really sure how I feel about this book. I think it's because it's a little bit too middle grade for me. You know, like sometimes they get really stereotypical. I think like the conflicts are a little bit too cheesy or like juvenile, which I mean makes sense, it's a middle grade. But I'm not enjoying this one quite as much as I have enjoyed other middle grades. But I'm not judging it like too harshly because it is made for kids, so I understand. Today's Wednesday, April 24th. I wasn't able to do a lot of reading yesterday. I did read a little bit, but it's for another video. The book is a part of the TBR that I chose for April, but it is specifically for another video, so I'm not going to include it in this one. I'm going to continue listening to the audiobook of Eva Evergreen, the Semi-Magical Witch, and keep you updated. My hair is definitely giving off Hermione Granger vibes right now. It's also reminding me of Mia's hair in Princess Diaries 1. Anyway, moving on from my hair. I just finished reading Eva Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch. In this first book, it's all about Eva figuring out who she is and learning her limits in magic and how to overcome those limits. As she uses her magic, she's becoming stronger and stronger and finding confidence, and she's finding a place that she feels that she's needed and wanted and loved and cared for. Honestly, this book was really cute. There were a few things in this book that were a little bit cringy to me, but I think it's just because it is a middle grade. But overall, I think that for middle grade, it was a very good story. I'm going to give it a 3.75 star because it wasn't quite a 4-star for me personally. The rest of this week, honestly, is going to be extremely busy for me, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to read. I really wanted to finish the 2 videos that I'm working on right now before I got my nails done again. My appointment is scheduled for tomorrow morning, and I don't think that that's even possible for me to finish before I get my nails done, and I'm just trying to come to terms with that. There's so much I need to get done too, because I'm going to a couples retreat tomorrow after I get my nails done, and that's going to last for 2.5 days, and then we have church on Sunday, and then I think we only have Monday and Tuesday left for this month. I'm not sure when these videos are going to be coming out. I'm going to try my very best to get these 2 reading videos posted by the first week of May, hopefully before that, but I'm trying to be realistic. You know, so I'm gonna stop talking and start reading and start doing all the stuff I need to do.
Harper Audio presents The Poet X, a novel by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is the author.
I just finished listening to the Poet X audiobook. This book actually made me feel things. It's definitely a mixture of emotions. It made me feel anger and frustration and just sympathizing with the main character for everything that she's going through and just sensing that pain that she has and just the frustration that she has to hold in all the time. I had no idea what I was getting into when I decided to read this book. I thought going in that this was just going to be a set of poems that this person wrote, but I forgot that it's fiction, so then that would mean that it isn't actually like true life or whatever. I think I'm gonna have to think about what I'm gonna rate this book, because this book is very deep and it talks about a lot of difficult topics. I'm gonna go ahead and start listening to another audiobook now.
I spied with my little eye a tiger.
As you can probably tell from the new setting, we're at a hotel right now. While I was getting my nails done and on the drive down, I was able to finish The Life of Pi by Yann Martel. This book was, I guess I could say, a doozy. What happens in the blurb doesn't happen until like page 107. and I was not expecting that at all. I was confused by the beginning of the book because I was like, this is not what I thought I was going to read, but after a while it made sense. This book was not what I thought it was. I knew it was literary fiction, but I thought it was going to be like with some fantastical elements or something just because of how the blurb sounded. I thought it was going to go a totally different way. But now that I think about it, it doesn't really surprise me too much of how the book actually ended up being. But it was not what I thought it was going to be. I definitely do not read literary fiction like at all, so I don't really know how to compare this to other literary fiction. The main character of this book is very intrigued by religion, and he talks about his journey of how he finds religion and what he thinks about it and what he believes. This book is definitely a book of survival. Although it took over 100 pages to get to where the blurb begins, it does last for almost the rest of the book. This book doesn't mention trigger warnings, but it definitely should. I don't even know where to start. Let's see. There's death, grief, gore, killing, murder, cannibalism, and eating excrement, to say it nicely. So there's a lot going on in this book. Because of that, I am not totally sure what I want to rate this book. Just because of all the stuff that happened in this book, I don't know if I can really say that I enjoyed it. It was an interesting read, but it was also a very uncomfortable read for me personally because there was just a lot going on. Because of that, I'm teetering between a 3 and a 3.5 for this. It is midnight, Sunday night, technically Monday morning, April 28th, or Monday midnight, April 29th, but I wanted to talk to you guys before I went to bed tonight. I'm currently 57% through of The House in the Cerulean Sea. I'm really enjoying the book so far. The children at the orphanage that he was visiting aren't at all what I expected, which is kind of ironic because it wasn't what he was expecting either. The reason why the kids weren't what I was expecting is because I thought that they were going to be human with superpowers. Instead, they're actually different races, which I thought was really interesting because I didn't know it was going to go that deep into like fantasy. I definitely was not expecting a wyvern. The only times I've read about wyverns has been in the Sarah J. Maas universe and Fourth Wing. I didn't know anything about the world building in this book before going in. I just knew that it was some sort of fantasy. It's kind of giving me like a comedic dystopian type of world. It's kind of reminding me of the Loki episodes on Disney Plus where there's like the cartoon clock and it's like, you know, she's acting like she's all sweet and innocent or whatever, but the society is like mixing like this deep and darker stuff underneath this layer of fun and like cartoonish stuff. I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely very interesting though. I'm hoping to finish this book by tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to finish the series of unfortunate events book 1 as well, and I'm hoping to be able to start one other book and maybe finish it by the 30th. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know if it's actually going to be possible for me to be able to finish my April TBR that I set at the beginning of the month, but I have read a lot of books so far this month, so I'm pretty proud of myself. It's not the numbers that I'm really trying to go for, it's just that I really have been wanting to read these books and I really wanted to get it done in this month. So I'm just kind of pushing myself to do that. But I mean, the number of books that you read, you know, as long as you're enjoying them and being able to enjoy the stories and get entertainment and fun out of it, then I mean, that's what really matters. But I'm just pushing myself because I really wanted to finish these books. I might read a little bit more before going to bed since I'm not super tired yet, and then I'll update you guys tomorrow. I finished The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune and I really enjoyed it. I love the found family and all the children and just how the village is starting to get better. And I loved how Linus stood up for himself and for the children and for the orphanage and is planned to help other magical beings. I cannot wait for the next book. I don't know if it's quite a 5-star. I feel like I can give 5 stars too easily sometimes, and then other times I'm like so hesitant to give 5 stars and I don't know why. I'm honestly trying to figure out how to rate books because I tend to give higher ratings for books that I maybe didn't like quite as much because I don't want to like be mean or something. But then also I'm like, but should I really give 5 stars to every single book that I like? Because not every single book that I give 4 and 5 stars are at the same level. So I'm trying to figure out, which ones are really my 5-star books, and then which ones are, maybe a 4.75, because it's almost a 5-star, but not quite. So I think this book is going to be a 4.75 for me, because I did really enjoy it, but it's not quite a 5-star in my opinion. Who knows, that might change, but for now I think I'm going to stick to a 4.75 because I did really enjoy it.
Ending, there is no happy beginning, and very few happy things in the middle. This is because not very many happy things happened in the lives of the 3 Baudelaire youngsters.
I just finished reading this book and I absolutely hated it. It was so awful and had so many cringy and just gross things in it. I mean, okay, it wasn't like gross, but it was very unfortunate and despicable. I absolutely hate their uncle and the group that is with him. I'm just not interested in reading the rest of the series and just seeing all the difficult and horrible things that happen to them, because I know that this series is all about that. I really don't know what to rate this, because the book delivered exactly what it said it would. And I mean, I'm just not the target audience. I'm not the type of person who likes these types of things and likes reading about horrible things that happen to people and all the stuff that they do to get through it. I just did not like this and do not want to continue it. I'm glad I gave it a chance because I was kind of curious about it, and I know that it's very popular and my sister really liked it, so I wanted to give it a try. But it's just not for me. I'm just not sure what I want to rate this, because it is exactly what it says it is. So does that mean that it's a great book because it makes you feel things and it makes you feel revulsion and like you want them to make it through to the end? Like, does that make it a good book because of that? Or does my hatred of what happens in this book lead towards a bad rating? I feel very conflicted because I really did not enjoy my time. I had it on 3 times speed on the audiobook for a while because I was just like, I just want to get through this, and it's a very short audiobook just to begin with, but I just did not want to spend any more time on this than I had to.
This is Wonderful.
Macmillan Audio presents One for My Enemy. Written by Olivia Blake. Read by Verdell Capistrano.
Somehow when I was filming all of my thoughts for all the books that I finished reading, I totally forgot to film for this one book. So this is me in the future. I was actually pretty surprised that I was able to completely listen to the audiobook of One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake in one sitting. I think this is the very first mafia book that I've ever read. It's basically following 2 mafia families with a twist because both families have different levels of magic. One family is a mother with 7 daughters, and the other family is just men with 1 father and 3 sons. There are several forbidden romances with this book and a lot of political scheming and overcoming of familial expectations. This book is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but the couple that was supposed to be like Romeo and Juliet was not the couple that I was expecting to be. Overall, I did enjoy this book, so I'm giving it a solid 4-star. I just finished part 1 of The Naturals, and that last chapter was crazy. I feel like the little snippets of the killer is going to be the main protagonist of this series, and boy is he pretty messed up. We'll see how it goes. I'm 39% through the book right now. I don't know if this is going to be a spoiler or not, so skip it this time. Okay, I just finished the U section before chapter 17, and I'm wondering if the killer that we are getting glimpses of was the person who killed the main character's mom. And the reason why I say that is because of the red hair dye that was mentioned, and that he has a knife, and you keeps mentioning that nothing beats the first murder or the first girl or whatever. And I'm just like wondering if that person is the one who killed the main character's mom. We'll see. Also, I'm wondering if there's going to be a romance between Cassie and Dean, or maybe Cassie and Michael, but it seems like they're leaning more towards Cassie and Dean right now. I'm also wondering if the serial killer is planning on killing Cassie for his grand finale. A guy just came up to Cassie and started talking to her while she was reading, and I'm just like, is that the killer? Is he trying to get her? And I'm just like, Yeah, I just finished reading chapter 22 and the U that was after that, and it's definitely the guy who killed Cassie's mom, and I'm pretty sure that he wants to kill her now too. And I'm just really nervous because I think that he knows exactly where she is now, and so he could like kidnap her at any moment. So I just finished part 2 and it's official. He wants to kill Cassie, and I'm so nervous because he's seen her and he knows where she is, and apparently he's a friend of Judd, and I am just like I don't know what's gonna happen. Guys, I did it. I finished my April TBR and I am literally shocked that I was able to pull this off. I honestly did not think I was going to be able to finish every single book in the time frame that I had, and with all the different activities and appointments and all the stuff that I had to do. And I was just like, I'm just gonna give it my best shot. But guys, I did it, and I am kind of proud of myself, to be honest. I was able to finish The Naturals last night before midnight, and I was so happy that I was able to just finish it. I honestly really enjoyed this book. It was so good. I feel like Jennifer Lynn Barnes really likes to have love triangles. Personally, I'm not a big fan of love triangles. I've been in a love triangle, and let me tell you, it is not fun. It is so hard to choose. I almost got whiplash from all the twists at the end. I was like, who's the real bad guy here? And when the author finally revealed who the bad guy was, I was totally shocked. I did not even consider this person to be the culprit. And I don't know if it was just me, but I was like, wow, she really got me. And it's true, like, when you have assumptions about a person and their gender and what they feel and why they're trying to do something, if you change one thing, it changes everything. And I just really love this series, and I can't wait to continue it. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 stars. It was really good. This week has been extremely busy, but also very productive, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching as I tried to finish my TBR. I'll see you in another video. Bye!